Thank you very much for your attendance here today, and thank you also to those of you that were here for the first two press conferences of yesterday and who promoted the event. We've had fantastic coverage. There are still some tickets available for both days, tonight and tomorrow. The forecast for tomorrow is excellent. The forecast for tonight has showers, but localised enough that they may not affect us at all. So we have 20 minutes here. It's top table only. What have we got?
Snapchat.
We've got 20 minutes only. Your opportunity to ask questions to Mo Farah, who races in the final event of the whole weekend, the 5,000 metres tomorrow afternoon. So first of all, you had an early start, didn't you? Did you co-present the breakfast show with Chris Evans? How was that?
I did, yeah. It was a bit early start for me. But it was fine. It was alright. It was kind of like France is 1 hour ahead, so I didn't feel as bad.
So you're newly back from Müller. How's the training camp gone there?
Yeah, we got back yesterday with some of the British guys. Training's been going pretty well. Flight was a little bit delayed yesterday, but it didn't bother us too much. And then came in here, went to the Olympic Stadium last night for a little bit, and that was it. And I'm here.
If you were giving yourself a mark out of 10, and you've gone through this whole pre-Global Championship routine, July into August, 5-6 years in a row, what would you score yourself at the moment in terms of how you'd like to be going into Rio in defence of your titles?
It's definitely it's up there. It's probably a little bit. It's hard to think back like that, but everything's gone well, and I'm on the right step. So it's crazy to think like in 3 weeks' time it's going to be Olympics. When I think like that, I was like, seriously? I questioned myself because it felt like it was yesterday.
So win, lose or draw, tomorrow night is your final race before you line up in Rio. What's the realistic expectation for you? You obviously want to win the race, but do you have any thoughts on the time you'd like to run?
Yeah, it'd be nice to win the race, but most important thing, I think, respect the guys and see what I can come away with. It's my last race, and in the past, I've always gone out there and done well in my last race, and that always gives me a massive boost and get ready for Rio. We've still got a little bit to work on towards Rio, a little bit sharpened up, a few more key sessions that I would like to get under my belt, and then after that it's Olympics, mate.
And your build-up follows a fairly well-established routine. You did have the World Half Marathon in Cardiff in there this year. You did go back to Monaco for a 1500, which was still pretty decent. Is that your view on it?
Yeah, 15 was good, but it wasn't so good. Just because I would like to run a little bit faster, but it was where is that? I ran still 3:31, and I don't think there's many guys out there in the world who could do that. So it was good in a way, but in myself, it would have been nice to get a little bit closer to the guys who's won.
When you think about Rio, do you feel nervous, excited, anxious? Do you know how many days it is to go?
I think it's about, is it 27 days, 26 days, something like that. I do get nervous thinking about it, and as I said, it's just 3 more weeks. That's the crazy part, and everything, it's done. I don't think I could do any more, and the whole season's always, the one key thing is the Olympics, and then you go up the steps, so it's almost like you're almost at the top now, so it's just, it's important that, as I said, for now, it's just take one race at a time, get this race out of the way, and then go back to training camp and think about what I need to do and get in that couple of key sessions I need to.
When we spoke to Usain Bolt yesterday, he's had an issue with a hamstring recently, and most summers there seems to be something related to his back or his hamstring that bothers him. You seem to have had an extraordinarily charmed life since you broke through in 2011 with relatively few injuries, and yet you're cranking out 120 miles a week, a lot of it at pace. How do you account for your resilience and your ability to come to a championship without setbacks like that?
I'm just very lucky, and I'm very lucky for a start, and secondly, just over the years I've got stronger and stronger. So if I think back, each year if I can have something injury free, and then you go following year, I'm that bit stronger. But anything can happen, and that's one thing that as an athlete is out of your control. It's not the training you do, but you can get injured, and anybody can get injured. So it's important that you do look after your body, and if there's something else, and then go back to coach, go back to physio, go back to normal, and just it's hard.
And final question from me before we throw it open. You're a family man. You've got 4 children. you spend a lot of time away from them, as is well documented. What are you looking forward to post-Olympics and when your season is done this summer?
I'm just looking forward, like, spending a lot of time with them. The other day, like, I do miss them a lot, and now they're asking questions, Daddy, where are you, what are you doing, and they slowly understanding, but nobody in this room, I'm sure there's a lot of you guys who have kids, and nobody wants to be away from it, but it's only for short term. That's how I try and think about it. Work hard now, get most out of it, and then later on, like when I retire, I can spend rest of the time of my life, rest of the time with my kids. So, but they're the ones who keep me motivated and keep me going every day. But I do generally miss them.
Question for you, yes.
Emily News. How has it been back in London, where you had obviously a lot of success 4 years ago?
It's nice to be back. I love London. This is my hometown, so it's very exciting. Like yesterday, first time for a little while. I walked to the stadium and it's all empty, and you walk in, and I was getting nervous and thinking, oh God, this is where it happens. And London, whereas my life has changed when I became double Olympic champion here.
You're also aware of what's been happening in Russia. What are your thoughts on that? And do you think the Russian athletes should be able to compete in Rio?
As I said, we have very tight rules, and I just wish we do follow our rules and other countries do apply. There's been a lot of stuff happening which I haven't been keeping up, but at the same time, I don't want to see anything bad in our sports, and we just have to do what's best for ourselves and our sports.
How damaging is this for the reputation of your sports?
Yeah, as I said, you don't want to see anything bad, negative in our sport, because like myself and Hussein and the rest of us, we work so hard, and something happens and it takes away from the whole line. So nobody wants to see it, but we've got to do what's right, and we just have to leave it to the government and the people who their job is to to make a fair sport.
Do you have sympathy for the clean athletes who won't be able to compete? For
sure, as I said, like myself, I do feel bad for the athletes who haven't done anything or hasn't crossed the line, and they all come together. But at the same time, it's like it's not in our control. All I want to do is be able to line up against a fair athlete and do the best that I can. And I want you guys to see how hard we work and what we've got to do, and to show you guys. So that's what we can do.
Go behind. Yep.
Hi, I'm Geraint from Sky. Just staying on the theme with Russia, the IAAF made the first move by banning Russian athletes. It was upheld in the Court of Arbitration for Sport yesterday. You have to place your faith in your international federations. Do you believe the IAAF did the right thing by sending a strong message out last year?
As I said, as an athlete, I just have to control my sports, and all I want to do is be able to run against fair athletes. And if we apply the same rules as in the UK, as other countries applying, then that's all we can do.
Well, that's the point. Is not every country has the same rules as the UK. How frustrating is that you're tested regularly under UCAD and IAAF, but other countries aren't?
That's what I mean. I think it will take time to go out, but at the same time, it's like obviously it's not my job and to comment on this thing. All I can do is do what I do best and keep training, keep making my nation proud. But we just have to make it the same rules as all the countries. It's not a point having one rule in one country and another rule for another country, but we leave it to the people who are in charge of the government and let them take care of it. But for now, I just have to concentrate on my race tomorrow, think about how I'm going to win and what I need to do.
Mo, if you were a Russian athlete right now and you were clean...
I'm not Russian, mate. I think I'm far from it.
Exactly. How would you be feeling if you were a clean Russian athlete today? You're barred from the Olympics, your career could be over. How would you feel for those athletes?
It is obviously, it's not a nice thing. It's the same for you guys. Last year you put me through hell, which I haven't done anything. But at the same time, it's what it is. It's like you can't look at one thing. I do feel sorry for them, for athletes who haven't done anything across the line, and But at the same time, as a country, as a nation, it's them people are responsible of it. So as ourselves, if I'm sure if British athletics or someone's done something, then it'd be the whole team really.
Just final question for me on this: the public perception, the public are getting bored of this story, and there are many people in the public that don't necessarily know the Olympics are around the corner. It's a complete contrast to what happened 4 years ago. How can people like you restore faith, not just in athletics, but in Olympic sport? Because the public needs some reassuring here.
Yeah, no, I do owe to the public like myself, you know, to have the whole nation behind me in 2012 was incredible, and that's what keeps me going every day. So you can't just look at little bad things, you've got to look at overall, and there's a lot of countries who do follow the rules. So I just, you know, we don't want to see any bad things in our sport.
Let's keep the questions coming because we've actually only got 20 minutes in total, so one at a time each, starting here.
You're hungry for being Confernce. Moment you went from half marathon to 3,000, 10K, back to 5K, 1,500 in Monaco. When do you prepare and how do you prepare and when do you decide to do all that kind of stuff since you're going to double at the Olympics?
As an athlete, you just have to keep working hard, and for me, at the beginning of the year, I did the half marathon, was third, a bit disappointed. Was really disappointed actually, to be honest, let's be honest. And then from there, stepped up my training, kept training well, based myself in south of France, Pyrenees, and training's been going pretty well. And then from there, I've just been racing around. Did the 1,500 metres for a bit of speed, which I've always done. It just helped me tune in. And then now London, my final race tomorrow. And then Rio. And hopefully, as I said, Rio, people always think, oh, Mo's going to double up. It's going to win the 2 goals. It ain't going to be that easy. I just got to do 10, as I always said, get through to the 10 once I've got that out of the way, and then come back for the heats for the 5, and then hopefully the final.
What do you expect tomorrow?
A win would be, if I didn't win, then it'd be disappointed. But at the same time, it's like there's a lot of guys out there who I'm going to be racing against in the Olympics. So respect the guys, respect the field, and see how. Just think, how am I going to win the race?
Your favourite sort when you think about the Olympic Stadium, just 4 years on, what are your memories of that incredible period?
Like 4 years. I can't believe it's been 4 years. It's like we said, oh yeah, Olympic Rio 2016, and it's finally come. But just winning my second gold medal was an amazing feeling, and the whole nation just going crazy and everybody cheering for you. And that kind of memories is what keeps me going every day. And days I feel tired, and days I feel like I can't do it. It's like, come on.
Tell me this then, how different will it be not having 70,000 fans screaming in your name in Rio? Is it good that you don't have that pressure, or would you prefer to have people cheering you?
I prefer to have people cheering for me, but it's once in a lifetime where we had the Olympics in London, in our hometown, and often it doesn't happen. But at the same time, Olympics are Olympics. Every athlete's dream to go to Olympics, and for me, it would be nice to be able to defend definitely my 2 titles.
Just finally, what about the Kenyan threat? Are you worried that they're going to kind of group on you as a team, so you're not just facing one athlete?
It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but at the same time, I'm going to do everything that I can do in my ability, and I'll give it 110% and see what I can come away with. But definitely, they ain't going to make it easy for me. They did make it easy for me in Cardiff, and I'm sure it won't be easy in Rio.
Got 3 or 4 minutes left.
Okay, Grumpy in sports. One of the favourite moments of your World Championship 5,000 metre race was that water break. Do you think you'll be able to pull off anything quite as audacious at this Olympics?
We'll see that water break. Looking back, I was thinking, oh Lord. But yeah, we'll see. I just got to stay injury free, keep enjoying, and see what happens. It ain't going to be as easy as that, I think.
And you're clearly bouncing coming into this. What's it like to have London to springboard into a major championship?
No, it'd be amazing to have London again, the World Champs 2017. It's going to be exciting, and hopefully that will be my last track season, as I said, and then go into the roads. So quite excited, but I just have to take one race at a time, 1 year at a time, and now it's Rio, isn't it?
Ben at the back.
How do you feel about competing in West Ham's new stadium?
Mate, I knew it was going to come, because when I walked in yesterday, all I saw is West Ham, and I pretend you didn't see that, but you do. And I guess I just had to not think about outside the box, and just run on the track. But it's officially West Ham Stadium, mate.
So 3 more questions, Sean.
Mo, you're a bit perfectionist, and you've been quite critical of your races this year. You won in Pre, but you still were a bit disappointed. You were third in Cardiff, you're a bit disappointed.
Have you been satisfied with any of your races this year? And if not, does that worry you at all?
No, I haven't been satisfied. Well, Birmingham was okay, wasn't it? Birmingham was okay, where I broke the British record. That's probably the one that's okay. The rest has been sort of average. In myself, I just know I could do better, but at the same time, it's like, where is that? I just have to get it right in London, and not London, in Rio, and that'll be it.
And you think you can?
Yeah, hopefully, should do.
I was Guido from Brazil here. We know that you have some interaction with the crowd. What do you expect from the Brazilian people then?
Just Brazilian with a wave. The wave, hopefully. Nah, I'm excited to compete in Brazil. It'll be my first time, so hopefully, the crowd will be behind us, and it will be a great atmosphere. We saw it in football, so hopefully we'll have kind of similar atmosphere.
Two more questions, one there.
Yeah, there were quotes from a couple of the Kenyans who are going to be facing over the 10,000 metres this morning. They said that they've been working on their last lap and they're feeling that they're in a position to beat now. Have you got a message for them?
Yeah. Let's bring it.
Last question is here.
I see you're a soccer fan, football fan, and during the Olympics in Rio, the Brazilian Championship will be going. Are you have plans to watch anything in Rio after the games?
Yeah, for sure. Since I finished my events, I'll love to be able to, watch football or even just go into the history of Brazil. Where like Kaká, so many great players, Cafu, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho. All the players, to be able to see where they grew up, how they started, and Neymar. I can talk about football all day long. So when I finish, I definitely would like to be able to go into Brazil and see a little bit of the culture and the culture of football.
Are you going to the opening ceremony in Maracanã?
No, I'll be in south of France, and I'll probably go like 4 or 5 days before my race.
So football and Russia have made their way into every single press conference we've had. That's the end of this one. Thank you very much for your attendance, and good luck tomorrow evening to Mo
Cool.
Farah.
Thank you.
Very much.